in the late 60s, I left and went to New York, where I joined the business of Norman Cosmetics. And there I met Peter, and we were in business about 3 years. And we just said that I wanted to go someplace, and he suggested, well, Nantucket be very good. I said, good, we'll drive there for a few hours. He said, no, we can't drive there, we have to take a boat. We knew we had to have a business, so we took on a house, which we formed into a business of just taking in people and giving them a bed. And that's what we did. We didn't serve any breakfast at all, which our guests were very surprised about, but they accepted, and they rented rooms. And our rooms were very cheap at that point, because there wasn't many guest houses. And I rented one room for $5 a night. Well, I was interested in about the basket anyways, but Catherine and Edgar lived across the street and became very good friends with us. And Edgar said, well, you want to make a basket? I'll give you a mold, and you can do that. And that was all I was given, was just the mold, no instructions at all, but I was to make a basket. So I went across the street and I cut a branch off his oak tree, which I brought home, and we made a base for the basket, which I used that down, and that basket did not come out very good, and I eventually destroyed that and started another one. And I bought a plank then and brought that home, and I started out cutting that for a base, and I finished the base, and I put up the ribs and cut the ribs out of a board and wove the basket up, and I had to cut everything out of that wood. I didn't have anything to use. Only thing they gave me was on the weaving of the basket, the cord there, and then everything was made out of wood. I made from the whalebone. I would cut that out and put that on, and that's the way the basket was made. I just made the basket, and I signed on the bottom that it was made. And at one point, the two men came over, and they wanted to see if I was making the basket out of natural things. And I took them down in the cellar and I showed them, and they were very pleased with it and called me a master basket maker. We have records of selling over 2,000 baskets. So then those records were all kept by Peter, who was very, very, very meticulous about keeping them. And so I have the names of them and the basket they bought. Tompkins always was ordering me baskets because they know that I had to do something, so they buy some, and so they bought me 400 of the little baskets that would go in for the salt and pepper that I would make around them. So, and of course, when they brought 400, I said, my God, what am I going to do with that? One basket that was a little basket round like that you could wear on your neck. And Edgar Seeler was the first one to buy one. She was very thrilled with it. So I know that she got one of them. And they became very popular. And so I would decide to go little close, little lower, and I would make one little smaller and one another smaller. So I had a nest of 3. And I almost said, well, I might as well make an earring. So I made a pair of earrings with the same method. And the method that I was using was never heard of. And on the island, everybody was doing the purses and not change their sizes or not. And I was just not interested in the purses because I could see so many of them. So I would do something else, would do another basket. So I ended up with about, I don't know how many bowls, but a very, very good amount of bowls. The bowls would be like this. And there's a mold inside there, and I would build it around there, and that would become an ice bucket. So everything was done like that, and I would make molds at different sizes, and at the end I gave all of these to the Hills, who I understand is going to make something very nice with them. So I am glad I gave them to them. All my shapes are all original, and the basket makers on the island said, "Oh, this is very good. I like that. Well, I'll do one to it." And I had a lot of people copying me, which is good. And I made little baskets, like square that would hold a napkin, and I made those baskets. And I made another wand like that would hold your hors d'oeuvres. And I would make ones in 3 shapes, one like this, and one like this, and one like this, to hold your pencils or things. Well, I buy some orange shellac, and I paint that on them to hold them up good, and also to have them go a shade darker. Orange shellac was only thing I ever put on them. Never put on the other stuff that would never change, and it was terrible. That I would tell people so many times, use the orange shellac on it. And other things I used to make is little sculptures, little people. Maybe I would do 2 people holding together. Well, some of them were naughty, but that was all right. You had to look at it very careful before you could tell. So that was all right. What else did I do? Oh, I used to paint on a watch. I take it off and take the glass off, and I would paint a Sacred Heart of Jesus on there. And that was very remarkable because it was so small. So I got a lot of orders for that and did many of those sketches. They're like sayings you would have on a, I can't think of some of them. I had many of them that I would have to put on parchments to frame, or I would frame. I used to frame all of them and put them up in our shop with the shapes and the way they're finished. I wish they would remember that. And the shape, I've got so many shapes of the baskets. That was very good. Peter was a very good painter, and he was showing his baskets, and I was going to show my baskets. And it went on very well. And we had a friend there that was going out, and she was wearing one of my small little baskets, and she would take orders on outside and come in and tell me about it. And I said, well, stop taking the orders, because I'm not going to make that many, so just stop it. She said, oh, I will, yes. No, of course, she didn't. She went out and do more. Oh, I didn't have any desire to copy them. There were so many that were so much alike. I wanted something different, and I would do a different size basket. But I did a couple of them. I wove a top for them, and I put that on with the cords on, and I did one little small one that I caused like a little purse for an evening. Mm-hmm. It was a little round one, and I put on that with cords that could be put on the shoulder and carry the purse here. And that was just another one of those things I would do. They should go to the Lightship Museum and see all the baskets they have, and there they can watch them make them, because they have makers there all the time, and they can see how they make a basket.